Hey everyone, Chloe here, and welcome back to my channel. And if you are new here, ladies and lurkers, welcome. So, I wanted to discuss a very common and often discussed cautionary tale of what often happens when you are a woman who wears the pants and or is the provider and or the breadwinner in your relationship and or your marriage. Now, for those of you who follow me on Instagram at Hypergamous Hive, many of you are aware of the most recent story of entrepreneur, social media maven, and founder of the very successful makeup brand, The Crayon Case, who is better known as Supa, and of the scandal of her cheating fiance slash baby daddy, Low Value Lou, who once again was publicly caught cheating on his provider woman for the second time around. And Low Value Lou seems to be determined to embarrass and humiliate his provider fiance by any means necessary. But if you are a subscriber to my channel, this situation should come as no surprise, and you will see this cautionary tale and this very, very predictable narrative repeat itself over and over and over again because there are so many successful, ambitious women who end up trying to secure love and a man's favor, often to prove a point that a boss woman can control it all and have it all, even when it's with an unaccomplished, low value man whose bag is directly correlated to his woman's bag. And I've discussed this on my channel many, many times, but hypogamy is a recipe for disaster that often ends up turning a boss woman into being the embarrassing punchline and the joke. Because unfortunately, there will always be women who will date, marry, and procreate with errand boys and house husbands. And the number one reason why women do this is because they want family. And it's because the desire for love and companionship is a very compelling and powerful force. And for successful women, many successful women mistakenly believe that the power and the dominion and the control that has manifested the tremendous amount of success that they've had in their careers will be the same formula of dominion that will work in their romantic relationships, which is often a recipe for a hypogamous nightmare. And way too many boss women who are often in their masculine, they believe that dating a weak man or an unaccomplished man or a man who is down and out or a man who is broken or a man who has a mile long rap sheet or a man who is a dusty is going to be so happy and grateful that you picked him up and that you dusted him off and gave him a job and that you went ahead and did him a favor by buying your own wedding and engagement rings and you made him shine with your money only for him to stab the knife of betrayal, embarrassment, and humiliation in your back. And the reason why men cheat on their provider women will always be driven by their desire to have their power and their masculinity up front and center validated. And the younger and the less accomplished and the more that he can impress the woman that he cheats on you with in his mind, the better. Because what a man wants more than anything is power, respect, authority, admiration, recognition, and the adoration that comes with having his ego worshipped. And when a woman is more accomplished, successful, and richer and more visible in her relationship, she essentially becomes the boss and the big kahuna. And the last thing that a man is wired to desire in his romantic relationship is shrinking in the limelight of his boss woman's shadow. So, why do weak men and unstable men get with provider women in the first place? Because they're broke, because they're homeless, because they're destitute, because they are looking for a mother surrogate, because they need help paying their child support payments, and because they often see women who brag about their bag and women who advertise themselves as Ms. Independent and having their own as an easy opportunity for exploitation. And at first glance, the ability to be with a woman who has her own bag seems like a fair exchange and a good idea on the man's part. And at first glance, his ego was powerful enough to trick him into believing that he could handle the husbandly duties that come with being in the background and being the help, until he realizes that not only is he 50% or less respected in his relationship, but that he is 0% respected outside of his relationship and his role as a provider. And he is often thought of in the public domain as an opportunist and or a clown or a loser or a never was by those who are outside of his marriage. And 10 times out of 10, the world will disrespect and devalue a man when in the background and in the shadows of his provider boss. which is very, very threatening to a man's ego and a man's existence. Because being in the shadows of a provider wife and her shine will always render a husband invisible, and no man signs up to be in a relationship to be invisible. Now, the story of Raynell Stewart, better known as Super Scent, and stories like this will continue to repeat themselves because the provider slash boss woman is a necessary lesson for understanding the power dynamics that come with a man's ego and the threat of an accomplished woman's money bag, which is very, very important for women to understand whether he is a good guy, the bad guy, or the damaged guy. It is very important for women to understand and listen carefully how men are wired, which is why you need to subscribe to this channel. So to my listeners who are ear hustling, a man will always find a way to recuperate his pride, his ego, and his manhood when he is not in the lead in his relationship. And eventually, his boss women will come to disrespect and clown his sponsored contributions to the marriage as well, because she is a woman who is used to power and control, and it takes an incredible amount of ego on a woman's part to be very, very successful. And men do not care, nor are they impressed with your accomplishments, or that you're a millionaire, or that you have 47 college degrees or your own bag. And I will say this a bajillion times if I have to, but your bag and your college degrees do not impress a man unless a man, Birdman Rub, has plans to use your success to his benefit to impress another woman. Now, I understand that for many ambitious women that hearing this truth is a catch-22 and a bitter pill to swallow, but I personally believe that the best solution for this common dilemma of the lonely or the love-starved or the having someone to share it with but very powerful, successful woman is for a boss woman to only get married if her man's bag is bigger than hers, or simply put, have your children but do not get married, or otherwise you will end up like Adele, marrying the help and paying your sour and embittered ex-husband half of your net worth to make him go away. And if you are a woman who is the breadwinner in your relationship, be prepared to not only gradually lose respect for your man, but also be prepared for quiet rebellion or lots of infidelity and lots of shouting matches and power struggles, and be ready to pay up in divorce court like so many other countless successful moneyed women whose in the shadow husbands seek a payday for the pain that they've endured from being in their provider wife's shadow and being a mouse in their marriage. So that is all that I have to say on this for now. A woman's bag and a low value man's insecurity are a dangerous and volatile mix. And drop a comment below if you would like to see a video on whether successful women are punished for being successful in the comments section. So ladies, now it's your turn. Why is marriage still so important to ambitious and successful women who are millionaires and billionaires? And discuss your thoughts on why men cheat on their provider women below. And stay tuned for more cautionary tales to come. And I will catch up with you ladies and you lurkers in the next one.